Alright, so my battery ran out on the first stock rail. I guess that's what you call that. So, while I was gluing it anyways. So now I'm gluing the second one. I don't know how much of gluing the first one I got. I tried using epoxy on the first one and it really didn't work too good. I also tried using a bent, you can see it was a used piece of rail, a bent rail from a piece of snap track for that first stock rail, and I'm not sure if that was the best idea. I think if I had like a different kind of rail, maybe like micro engineering rail or something that was a little bit skinnier, it might be a little easier to bend. But this straight one seems to be going right in there very easily. Yeah. For this one, the hardest part was just holding it down, and I don't think the epoxy was really the greatest idea. So I went back to model glue for this. You can see here they say that your point rails, you don't actually have to notch these rails. They're designed to be made so you could almost like slide these ties underneath, and once you get good at this, and just build a turnout like right into your existing track. That's the way it's supposed to work, they say, but I'm not good at it yet, so we'll see. I'm just testing this. Hope I better not stick that under there while it's got glue on it, or else it might get stuck. Yes, I'm gonna have to let that glue dry, and we'll see how it comes out. Okay, so the stock rails are still drying, but I made sure there's no glue on the bottom underneath here. And according to the instructions, the next part is to install the points and the throw. So I got the throw bar in here and made sure, this is important regardless of whether it's a hand laid switch or a ready switch, is that your throw bar always needs to move freely. So this is pretty good. It's pretty silky smooth in there. So I got my 2 point rails, and according to the, should be able to just hook these right in. Let's see here. And the little hooks, I don't know if you can see it. See those where's my knife here? Little hooks like this piece right here, hook down inside of this. Let's see if I can push it a little bit. Hooks right inside of here, and then you have this plate that presses it up against and keeps it in place. So let's see here. So I got the push. There we go. Put that right in. And I have them in backwards. Nothing like doing this for the first time. Looking through the camera, can't really see. All right, so now the part that's puzzling me is how am I going to get this plate to stay put? Because every time I push it down in there, it kind of pops back. All right, so this piece needs to still be able to freely move. Come on now. It feels a little tight because it's forcing the point rails to actually bend, but it actually does move freely. So, all right, the next step is to make closure rails, which are these rails that fit right here and right here. So it looks like it's gonna have to be notched a little bit just on the, like the web, the bottom, right there, because if you lay that in there, it just doesn't quite come where it needs to go. So let's notch that and I'll be right back. All right, so I've already cut and glued this first closure rail in. And I just cut and trimmed this one. My battery went dead again, so I wasn't able to show that process because I'm kind of impatient. I will say the one thing that I don't like is the way the closure rails meet these point rails. I think I'm going to end up pulling these out like this so that it'll be engaged and then just soldering, putting a dab of solder on that. Because it seems to me like, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it really just like falls to the side, because the only thing holding this point rail in is just that little hook tab thing. And it's the same on this side, like it moves all around. So this one's gluing. I'm gonna go ahead and glue the other one in. My battery's probably gonna go dead while I'm doing this. Dead yet. Get a little bit of glue where the closure rail meets the fog block. You can see that right there. I'm going to set it in there first. Press it this way and down. Make sure that it's all engaged. You can see that it felt nicely engaged. I will say that the Atlas rail has a very wide profile, and it almost doesn't fit. So that could be a problem. Another problem I noticed is these frog blocks seem like they're going to need a little bit of filing or sawing to get RP25 wheels to go through there. So I'm not going to say these things are exactly NMRA standard. When I get done with this video, probably do just like a, final thoughts or whatever, and go over some of the pros and cons of these. Obviously the detail is pretty extreme, but seems to me that at the price of some pretty good detail, they really made these things very, very cheaply. So one of these kits, MSRP is like $13, with, you know, twice as many detail parts as you actually need. So starting to look a little bit more like a turnout. Alright, so at this point I'm about to start making the point of the frog, or the head of the frog. And it shows you actually don't put two rails. In this kit, you actually don't put two rails together like this, but instead you kind of stagger them. Shows top view. That's how it's supposed to be. So basically what I need to do is I need to file or use my grinding tool on this rail to get it to go up into there. Get it to go up into there. And if you look from the very top, you'll see that because of this plate here, I'm going to have to remove the flange of or the web of the rail on both sides. On this side, so that it'll even fit in there. But basically, I'm just going to be filing this, dremeling it to make it a fine point to fit up in here. And that'll be pretty much the next step. Alright, so got the point or head of the frog filed down. I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but we're going to give it a shot. So that will go up in there like that. I guess the key to this would be to look down, switch the profile. Looks pretty good. Seems like pretty much a continuous line. That's what we're shooting for. So I'm going to say that's pretty good. So now I need to make another one for the other side. Alright, now let's get in focus here. Alright, so I got the next piece made. See how this fits together. Not too bad, actually. Now they're saying that you can just glue these together in here. And honestly, I will probably put a drop of solder in between them and then sand them smooth just to make them one piece. Then after that, I'll probably take my Dremel tool and cut to make it DCC friendly. But you probably could just put glue in between them. The only problem is that as the wheel takes this route here, it's going to hit this one and then this one, and it's going to short out. So you may as well just put a solder drop in between it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these in. I'm going to glue this one in first. Going to mark where I actually need glue. Alright, got that glue. Gonna jam it up in there first and then set it down. And these things are nice that they have the pre-gauged little spike heads. Alright, so my battery died. Wasn't able to video the last part of the putting the frog in. You can see it all came together there very nicely. I get the view from the front of the turnout. You can see a really nice line going down on either route. It'd be nice if I had this connected up to the frog. Definitely runs very smooth. Kind of surprised I didn't expect it to come out this well. The only thing where it seems to like have a little trouble is right here, beginning of the point rails. So but that's the finished product. I think I'm probably going to solder those. Future, add some more detail parts. So I have to say, for 13 bucks, this is a good deal for the detail. There certainly isn't any other turnout that has the possibility, I should say, of having this much detail because of the detail kit that comes with it, which I haven't finished adding these. Even like Walther Shinohara turnouts or Pico turnouts don't have the same detail out of the box, and they cost a lot more. But I have to say, for the price, it's not really a money saver as far as, I mean, it would be cheaper to just buy Atlas turnouts. Here I have the, let's move these a little bit. The Central Valley turnout right here, and this is an Atlas number 6, so you can get the idea of the detail on both. As far as like the spike detail, obviously you can see the spikes on the Atlas are a lot larger, and this is one of the newer Atlases, so like I said, that obviously I probably could do a little bit more work to this, adding the detail parts, but came out pretty well. I feel like it's taken several days, but I feel like if I build a couple of them, I'll get a little bit better at it and it won't take so long.